This will be in the uncut gems.
What's going on, baby? What's the deal?
What's up? What's up? How we doing?
P called the meeting
Yeah.
because he has some stuff to get off his chest. Jameson came from the left, hit me last minute. Boop! Let me know what was up. What's going on, man?
Not too much, you know. Had to get back in the mix. It's been a little bit, so.
How'd you get today off?
Well, with New Year's Day being a natural holiday, that was already my day off. So when that happens, they give me the day off before that too. So hence why I have today and tomorrow off.
That's dope. So you're chilling.
What a world.
You got plans?
Yeah,
Anything?
going to the Friars game. Gonna be downtown for a little bit. Gonna hang with some friends. Should be a good time. Yeah.
You're a Friars guy?
So.
How they doing this year?
Not great.
He's more of an Ed Cooley guy.
No. I was a Fire Ed Cooley guy for a while.
Why?
Why would you be on the Fire Ed Cooley train?
What?
So, because he didn't want to be here, and it was clear that he already had a deal in place with Georgetown that final year, hence why the team trailed off so bad in the second half.
I'll give you that.
So that's when it started. It wasn't me like 5 years ago. I thought
I
was
see.
doing,
All right.
my bad. Let me refrain.
All right.
Let me
Yes,
rephrase.
his last year, you were like, get him out of
He
here.
started great, and then all of a sudden it started going downhill, and everybody was like, oh, guys just aren't playing. I'm like, no, he's checked out. Like, there was rumors about Georgetown, but...
Like Parcells in the Super Bowl?
Ooh.
When he was on his way?
How is Georgetown, though? Are they doing anything? How long's he been there now? 1 year or 2 years?
Second year?
It's got to be second year.
Second year. Not really doing much that I'm aware of.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And
But
they went after him, if I'm not mistaken, right?
much more pay, though.
Yeah.
And they kind of was like, he's our guy.
Well, that's always been PC's problem.
They can't hold on to the guy.
They can't hold on to the guy because they can't pay the
They
guy
can't
what
pay
the
the guy. They
guys
can't
can
pay
do.
the guy, which is, that's what it is.
The fact that he stayed so long probably is because he was a Providence guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because he's from good old South Side?
Because it's happened every time
Yeah.
with the coaches. They stop building up the program and then they go.
Oh, it goes
Wow.
all the way back, yeah.
Well, I hear the Rams are doing all right, though, right? No? Are
Yeah.
they?
They're okay.
They're
yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
What's going on with you, P?
Not much.
What's the word, Daddy?
Just trying to make it through this holiday to into the next year.
Did you go to the drive-thru today? You got no...
Yeah, I did know, but went to Wendy's and didn't have any problems.
You said everything was smooth?
Yeah.
Smooth?
The girl in
Really
the girl in the
laid
bonnet didn't say have a nice day or anything, but whatever.
back? Is that what you look for? You look for hospitality, huh?
Well, say something when you hand me the bag. Just don't do nothing.
Get out of here! Imagine if they said that.
Would
Somebody
you have
said
preferred that over nothing?
Yeah. Yeah.
that. You feel relevant. That's ill, because even if you feel if you're disrespected, at least they notice you.
Yeah, exactly.
To disrespect you.
There's relevance.
I should have snatched the bonnet off her head.
Can we talk about that?
What?
Where's the etiquette at? Like you wear
Oh, man.
bonnets,
Do-rags. Where are we going with this? Where are you going?
Oh, yeah, where are I was thought we were taking this a different way.
No,
Oh,
pun
okay.
intended. I just don't understand. Uniform doesn't mean anything anymore.
It's all for the manager of the store. To see,
Or
you know
the
what I
store
mean?
in general.
Yeah, just to set the rules. It's all in the person in charge.
But I feel like, and not to start rambling on this, if you start saying something and now you're going to be looked at as like, what are you talking about? You'll look like the enemy now if you start trying to impose standards on, I don't know.
No, but there should be a level of professionalism, because if, I'm going to Dunkin' Donuts or whatever and I see a dude in just, cargos and sandals, giving me my drink and shit, I'm like, this is weird. This doesn't feel right.
But that's what it is.
But like I said, it starts from the top, though. When I was a manager at Save-A-Lot, I didn't care if the cashiers...
Wait, back up.
Yeah.
How long ago was
That
this?
was a long time ago.
That's my point. I think now that's what it is.
But, once again, though, it still comes to the manager. And I know it's harder to get help, so you can't push it as much nowadays.
Yes.
But I was really cool with my employees, and it was all like, I don't mind if you guys stand here and talk while there's no customers. Always acknowledge the customers. Always say thank you. Have a great day. That's all I wanted from them. But, yeah, now I think they're just lucky to have the help.
It's crazy. You'll even argue your Uber driver. You don't know who these guys. They just come. I don't know. It's crazy. It's the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ever since COVID too. The
Yes.
Wendy's I go to in Dartmouth half the time you can't even walk in because they don't have enough help.
Yeah.
So they just put it through the drive-through.
So
and
you're
they don't
saying
they
that
don't
the
let anybody come in.
hiring pool has went down since COVID.
Yeah.
So they got slim pickings.
I just think people don't know how to communicate anymore, and if you try to have a real conversation with someone, they get offended, or there's like HR, or there's just like someone gets it's just a slippery slope. So
Well,
like, people just don't approach
Just
it
younger
anymore.
people in general don't know how to
You think
communicate.
the younger
Like,
people, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, it can be older
I-
people too. No,
yeah,
it
but
can-
I think
But
it-
like the newest generation is a big part of the problem. You know?
Social media.
Yeah, it's that they're on their phones. They don't have to communicate
Yeah.
with people. Like
Yeah.
you just try to like get a normal interaction out of somebody, and you get nothing because they just don't know what to do.
They don't know how to do it.
No.
Hi. They're like, oh, I don't know what to do. You
You're like,
just
"Oh
say
my
hi
God."
to somebody. They're like, oh my God, why are you saying hi to me?
Yeah. This is like, oh my God, this is IRL. This is real life.
Wow.
I think just we've lost the ability to communicate on a regular basis amongst each other. I think that's a big problem, in my opinion.
Well, this is what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
We're communicating here today.
And that's why I love
and
being
clear.
here.
Loud and clear. Even though we might be wrong, we're communicating. Do you understand, people? We're letting it be known. We're coming through your speaker, through your ear. Hear what we got to say. You know what I'm saying, P? What's on that?
You know,
baby?
they can communicate pretty well.
What?
At 562 Newport Avenue in
There
our
you
spot.
go, our spot.
That's
That's
a
who
great
we
place to
are.
communicate.
The hours are on the screen. You know what it is. It's time for me to get hype. I'm getting good. Yo, P, what's on deck, baby? What we talking about?
Little NBA, little NHL, maybe a little college football. Not a lot going on yet.
Yo, I heard something about Mayo. Are,
Yeah,
the, are the
we
fans
got- we got-
already?
We're gonna
Oh.
talk about Mayo. Talk about
I
Boston.
was in the
yeah.
trenches there on
Are
Saturday.
they already? Give me a break with this, man.
We'll get into it.
Oh,
We'll
my
definitely.
goodness.
That's gonna be
Yeah.
What is going on?
What episode number is this? I think we gotta go
episode
over that.
65, the Andre Garad episard.
All
No,
right, wait,
no.
Let me do my best Nate dog. Hold up. Go ahead, J-Mo. Who you got? Who you got for 65?
So,
So,
you know,
way back in the day of leather helmets, there was a man called.
Come here, Sonny.
so in my quick and vast research of best players to wear number 65 all time,
Yes.
there's one that just sticks out like a sore thumb to me, and that is the beloved Gary Zimmerman.
Beloved.
Gary Zimmerman, the number 3 overall pick in the 1984 supplemental draft,
Oh.
played for
In what year?
1984, number 3 overall pick to the New York Giants.
Okay.
He was a 7-time Pro Bowler,
Boom.
3-time All-Pro, 184 career starts, played from 1986 to 1997, and won a Super Bowl. So
I got him beat.
he
I
might
got him
have
beat.
might have played on a team coached by Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. So
Okay.
might have done okay for himself.
Who's your guy?
I think it should be Elvin Bethea.
Who is that?
Houston Oilers back in the day.
Houston
60
Oilers.
68 to 83, 16 seasons, 8 Pro Bowls, and what trumps any of the stats is one of those nice powder blue.
I remember those powder blue.
unis.
Those were buttery smooth, baby.
Those
I
old
remember
Oiler
those.
unis.
Ooh, I don't know. Should we do a co?
I think we got to give it to my Giants guy because
Why?
they were stupid enough to win yesterday and cost themselves the number 1 pick, which you can get into later. So I feel like the Giants need a win that they haven't really
We'll
gotten
make it.
recently.
We'll just make it. We'll make it.
we can do co if you want.
Because to truly be honest, I have no
No idea.
clue who either one of these guys are.
I mean, Gary Zimmerman's beloved.
If you want
but-
to take it from, if you want to just take it from this century, Damian Woody, local boy,
Woody.
Patriots.
Woody. I don't know. 65 is up for debate. I'm just gonna call it whatever you guys wanna call it. We're gonna take a quick break. We're coming back. P's on deck. J-Mo came from the left.
What's happening? We're back at our spot,
Yes.
doing our thing.
562 Newport Avenue.
Come check them
Pawtucket.
out.
Come check them out.
Football specials on Sundays.
Friday nights on fire.
I'm still thinking about that food last time we
Saturday
were
on fire.
here.
Yeah, spend dip was on point. Chicken parm was on point.
It was ridiculous.
Yes. What you got, Daddy?
Let's
What
talk
you
a
got?
little NBA.
NBA Celtics.
Celtics struggling a little. Lost 3 out of 4, I think now.
Yeah.
Cleveland Cavaliers are still rolling.
That don't. Okay, go ahead.
But
Go ahead.
well, I don't know. What,
I was gonna
I know. Tatum was out at least one game for the Celts.
Yes.
But we had. I don't know. Are they going through that mid-season
This
kind
one-
of
you
doldrums?
You want them to. I want if anything's going awry, you want it to go awry, right? You want it to go left right now. So it gives you time to right the ship, get everything back to order, and this isn't. They're not really doing that bad. I'm watching the games. They're in the games.
They're 23 and
Oh,
9. They're
this-
coasting. They're fine.
Yeah, there should be no way they're not in the games.
Yeah, they're in the games. They're competitive. It's just what it is.
They set a standard though, and they.
That's the problem.
It's hard to be consistent night in, night out on an 82-game season where these guys probably don't want to play that many games.
Exactly. A
Yep.
long season.
Yeah.
So.
And the losses they have had, like, they lost on the road to the Magic. Say what you want about the Magic. That's a tough team. They're one of the
They're like 4th or 5th, right? In the East,
They're
they're
but
up
fourth,
there.
yeah.
they're probably the best defensive team in the league. Like they make
They're
it,
up there.
They make it tough. Like 108, 104 that they lost. That's
Yeah.
like an old school NBA score.
Boom.
So like they're gonna play like they're not dirty, but they're gonna play physical. They're gonna mix it up. You're not gonna get easy baskets with them. So they're a tough team. I always worry about them. I hope they don't have to deal with them in a 7-game series in the playoffs. But
Why?
I still think that in the 7-game
they'll
series,
beat them.
yeah.
But Jalen Suggs and all those guys
Yeah.
they just mix. They're tough. They're just.
I would be more worried about how you come out physically against that team because from what you're saying, it seems like they're pretty physical.
And the Celtics are too, but physicality kind of makes it more neutral.
Yeah.
And
So that's what I would be worried about. We
Yeah.
won the series, but we lost Tatum. We
Yeah.
won the series, but we lost Brown.
Yeah.
That's what you don't want.
can't have that.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So
And then so they lost to the 76ers on Christmas Day. I kind of
That's embarrassing.
why is it embarrassing?
It's the Sixers.
Why is it embarrassing?
That's a good team.
That was
though.
a light Christmas gift. I don't think the Sixers are that bad.
They're not. They're starting to come
They're
around.
I hope it's not too late, but yeah.
Wait, it's the same Sixers team I'm seeing at 13 and 17, right?
No, they're gonna. But that's what
I
I'm
think they
saying.
started like 2 and 11. or
Yeah, they
something.
started
were really
bad because the Embiid thing. They haven't played everybody together yet. And you guys just said it. It's a long season.
Yeah.
They
It's
can-
like Christmas break thing.
Yeah,
like
you
that.
can go on that run. I also feel that tournament thing kind of throws things a little aloof or a little whack too.
It does, but I gotta say, because I've watched some of the games,
Yeah,
those guys give everything
They're
they've
rumbling for
got.
that.
Those games are great to watch.
that's the point I'm trying to make.
I don't
is
understand that either.
I feel like it's taking. I don't know. Could be me how I'm looking at it, but it is taking the energy out of it, and I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
Maybe they
It's weird.
give too much in the tournament. And then,
That's my point. So you're giving all for this tournament. You still have the rest of the season to play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if they're making a run into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And here's what I'm going to say. As the years go by, are you looking back saying, that's the year they won the end season?
yeah, no.
Yeah. No one.
That's the
cares.
thing I don't understand.
I am
it's
not.
not enough money, and it's not enough glory to put that kind of effort
Why
in.
did they do... Okay. You're the survivor. Why did they do this?
Why did they do this?
Yeah.
Because it was such a lull during October, November. And
So they're
previous
trying
years.
to boost ratings.
They're trying to boost ratings because no one cared. And to be honest, I didn't really care about the NBA until Christmas Day. That was usually when I started getting into it hardcore. But now I've kind of gotten into it a little bit more because of this. So maybe they tricked me. Maybe they suckered me into it.
Since we're kind of a segue, we're going to come back to the hockey. I heard LeBron say about they were talking to him on Christmas Day when they won the game against the Warriors or whatever.
Yeah, that was a great game, by the way.
And he's like, no disrespect to the NFL, but Christmas Day is ours, like saying for the NBA. And I'm like, I don't know, buddy.
If
I don't know.
If the NFL wants it, it's theirs.
They took a beating that day.
It wouldn't be the first time LeBron was talking out of his ass.
I feel like the NBA took a beating that day to the NFL. And not only did they take a beating, you took a beating to a streaming service. Like, people would literally have to pay for that service. This wasn't even on free TV, and you took a beating to that.
5.1 million NBA viewers, 24.9 million NFL viewers on 2 very shitty games.
That. So why would you even like? No disrespect, Bron. You took like. You shouldn't have said that. You took a.
He says a lot of things now. Not 4, not 5.
Yeah, I remember. They didn't just take a beating. Now they're just saying the numbers. They got obliterated
Wasn't
now.
even close.
It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
So that goes to show you. Don't say the NBA. You could say Christmas is ours, but America has made it clear what their sport is. Hands down.
And a lot of it, not to harp on your team too much, but a lot of it has to do with the load management issues.
Yeah.
Where the 76ers are acting like it's the movie Minority Report,
yeah.
treating Embiid like he's got an injury before he's got the injury. So I'm like,
We think he's hurt. Sit him.
yeah.
You see the owner's office and that red ball rolls out. Oh, he's going to break his leg in 2 weeks.
So yeah.
Take it easy.
So that's
What
one of the
movie
issues.
was that?
You
Was
just
that
said
like
it.
a Tom
Minority
Cruise?
Report.
Minority
Yeah.
Report.
I'm not paying attention, and I'm looking right at Tom Cruise right there too. Yo, that movie was pretty dope.
Yeah. It was a good
What else you
movie.
got, P?
NHL.
Bruins aren't looking that bad.
They're coming around a little. They're
Yeah.
coming around a little. They've won what? They're 5-2 over the last 7 games, I think. But then once they got rid of their coach, but I still don't think they have a ton of talent. They've moved up to 3rd place in the Eastern Conference in the Atlantic.
Ahead of Tampa
Yeah.
Bay. And Tampa Bay's pretty good usually.
Yeah.
They're usually always in the
They're
mix.
20-14.
Yeah.
That's they're not bad. They're not
No,
bad.
they're only 4 points back of the
They're
Panthers in
trending
points.
the right way. If I had to guess, I don't know.
And if most Bruins fans have no recent history, I'd rather have them trending better later in the season
Yes.
than dominating the whole season and then falling out in the
Exactly.
first round of the playoffs.
So if this is what you want. You want them like, okay, I'm rocking with you on that. There's no way. You don't want all of that madness during the whole season and then only to get. They got chin checked the first round last year, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
All-time best record.
They had 2 great goalies last year
Yeah.
too,
Wow.
and they kind of couldn't figure out
I
who
don't
to
know.
play.
That caused them the problem when they got into the playoffs. Because which guys you going with? You had
Mark Swayman. Yeah.
Was the coach the problem?
In my opinion, no.
no, probably.
But I'm not in the locker room, so I can't say it. Like, and hockey's one of those sports where guys don't really stay long with the team. Soccer's the same way too. You kind of just like you get flamed out after a few years, even if you're like kind of successful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You always hear that they just tune the coach out after a few years, and they do just change coaches, like rotate them in hockey. It's not different from the other sports.
yeah,
It just happens. It's just a thing. It's usually not like a big earth-shattering thing. Like when there's no like Black Monday like it's going to come up in the NFL.
Okay, speaking of that, I'm going to segue back to basketball. Why did Mike Brown get fired? Does anybody know?
this feels like something on the inside happened because
With Fox.
because he's actually
With the Fox cat.
with the Aaron Fox. Yeah, because Mike Brown, say what you want.
He's
I think
a
he's
good
a really good
coach.
coach. Yeah, like,
He's a good coach. You just signed the contract
yeah.
in June, if I'm not mistaken. We
Yeah.
were talking about this. You fire the guy?
Like the Kings, how long were they not relevant for before Mike Brown got there? Like forever. Like no one cared about them. They weren't doing anything, and then all of a sudden they make the playoffs. They take the Warriors to 7 games the year before. Like okay,
That's
this Kings team can roll.
crazy.
They can score. They can play high tempo, up and down, running.
I felt like it was out of the blue, too.
Yeah.
I looked up and I'm like, what? But speaking of that, who's surviving Black Monday in the NFL?
Last time I was on here, we said Mike McCarthy was definitely gone. I think he's
Not-
definitely staying.
Damn.
now.
I think he's staying now.
Yeah.
Is Dayball coming back?
He really should. I think the GM should go. I don't blame
Yeah.
Dayball for this because he got stuck with Daniel Jones. Honestly, I think Dayball screwed himself his first year by actually being really successful with Daniel Jones and making it seem like, wow, Daniel Jones might be a competent starting
Yeah.
quarterback. So maybe he screwed himself by being too good.
Okay, now you're saying what you think. What's going to happen to him?
If he gets fired,
No, do you think he's going to get fired?
I don't think he will.
Okay.
I think the GM's going to go.
What do you,
I really
you think he
believe
gets
that.
fired?
I think they put him in a position with Daniel Jones. He inherited the problem,
Yeah.
and I think they might allow him to try to dig out of that. I mean, they saddled him with Daniel Jones. They let Saquon go.
And we all
And-
know the hard knocks and how that went down.
Yeah,
Like, just
yeah.
don't let him go to Philly, and now he might get the rushing record against the Giants in Week 18.
Yeah.
Okay. Skip over. What's going to happen with McCarthy?
He might have walked himself into maybe a 2-year deal. They
So
can't.
Dallas. It's so Dallas.
They can't give him. They can't. Well, and also the problem is you look at the past. They were 3, 12, and 5 seasons the last. So you look at what they've
Okay,
done.
you're Mike
and
McCarthy.
and the problem is they've
Yeah.
been decimated with injuries this year. So
All right. Can we do some role playing? You want to play role playing?
yeah,
You're Mike McCarthy.
Yep.
I'm the black Jerry Jones. All right, so we're just gonna role play.
yeah.
You come into my office. You plead the case on why you should stay and get 2 years out of me.
All right, Jerry.
Yes.
It was 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. We won divisions. We got to the playoffs. We didn't get where we wanted to be, but we got there.
Well,
This
you know,
year-
now hold on now, there, Mike McCarthy. You know we got the star, and we're the team of the league. We're America's team. I need a Super Bowl.
Jerry, let me ask you. Who kisses your ass more than me? Who kisses it better than me?
Actually, my wife, my ex-wives. But to go further, I want a Super Bowl. I need a Super Bowl. We can't even get a playoff win. What's going
We're
on?
going to get you in before you die.
I'm going to die tomorrow. I can't hold on any longer. What are you negotiating here? What do you want? What can you do for me?
Yeah, it's got to be a 2-year deal because you can't go back into you can't have him be a lame duck again. You can't give him a 1-year deal. Say prove it. You got to be 2. That way you could, if he's not good, you can still walk away and you're not eating that much of a contract.
I think it's going to be 2.
I would like to see them move on.
I think it'll be 2 years. I think it's going to be 2 years. This
It's
next
basically
year
a
coming
1-year
up,
deal.
they're watching him, and they can essentially.
I will give him credit. Number one, with all the injuries, new defense with Zimmer coming in. Once they did get better as the season went on, even though they had a ton of injuries. Outside linebacker, middle linebacker went out, all starting. Diggs was coming back from surgery.
Yeah.
Land was out half the season.
That's another thing he could say.
Yeah, he's.
That's what he could say when he goes in
Parsons
the
was out
office.
for weeks. DeMarcus Lawrence
He
has
could be
been
like,
out
I
most
was
of the season.
decimated with injuries this year.
Yeah.
I
And,
don't know.
they're still playing competitive football. I think the thing that will sway Jerry, not this last game against Philly because they just let it go.
Yeah.
It was the game against Tampa when they found out that they were eliminated before the game. And they played
went
hard
out and
that
balled
game.
out.
The fact that the team hasn't quit on McCarthy might be enough to let
So
Jerry.
you're saying he's safe?
And Jerry likes him, and Jerry's like he's got a Super Bowl.
Is he safe?
He might be.
All right. So I'm gonna segue over.
Knowing Jerry Jones, he might be.
I gotta say one quick thing though.
Go ahead.
You have to understand though, Jason Garrett, who was basically a puppet for Jerry Jones,
I'm
was
your
there
puppet.
9 years.
Yeah.
9 years, that guy. So like, if this was Jerry Jones in the '90s, where he was firing people like Super Bowl winning coaches, Jimmy Johnson left and right, I might say Mike McCarthy would be gone. But this older, a little more gentle Jerry Jones,
Yeah.
I think he gives people the benefit of the doubt and lets them stay longer now.
Okay.
So I
Perfect.
think, yeah.
Perfect. You stay right there, because
Yeah.
we're going over to Robert Kraft. You said you were in the building this weekend. What were they chanting at the end of that game?
There was some Fire Mayo chants.
How are you
There's
feeling
a
about
lot
that?
of Fire Mayo chance.
So, for me personally, this is a big off season. Right now, they have the number 1 pick in the draft.
Personally, why you might get cut? Is that you don't want to open his locker and see that little red slip hanging there?
Coach wants to see you. The owner wants to see you.
A lot of things can go a lot of different ways. I hope it goes the right way. The issue is that Robert Kraft handpicked Gerard Mayo 5 years ago to be the head coach, and he's been absolutely awful. And
Mayo has been awful.
he's been terrible. And is that because he doesn't have much
The
to work
furniture.
around him?
He don't got no
Maybe
much.
maybe that's part of it. But
Maybe.
he's made some comments that make me think he doesn't know what he's doing. Like when it's between the lines, there's nothing more I can do. That's kind of a damning comment from a coach, in my opinion.
Right, but is he just bad media wise, or is it, you know what I mean? Like what he says, he shouldn't say it. Like because when he called the team out that one time, everybody was like, he shouldn't have called them out. And then
Sirianni
then
does that
backed
all
up.
the time. Like, does that mean he's not a good coach because of what he said in a press
I don't think.
conference?
See, that's the problem with DeMayo is you can't tell because it's so devoid of talent.
So there's a lot that needs to change. But strictly on Mayo, this is a chance where you can get Mike Vrabel, and I know he has interest in coming back. And if you do that, Josh McDaniels can probably be the offensive coordinator again, where he excelled and was excellent. So,
Where's McDaniels at?
on a couch somewhere because he's still collecting from the Raiders, being fired from them
Yeah.
for being an awful head coach. Some people are great coordinators. Some people are awful head coaches. Norv Turner's proven that over the years. Like when he was a head coach of the Chargers, but when he was an offensive coordinator of the Panthers,
yeah.
whoever,
He's
he was
better as a
insane.
coach.
Yeah, some
You're
people.
better as
I
a
think
coordinator.
McDaniels might be like that. And then, so I would love if they fired Gerard Mayo. I know it's a 1-year thing. I just don't, and the thing with Kraft is, I think he has too many yes men. I don't think people give him the real truth. So when the fans give him the real truth, I think he actually listens. So personally, I hope they fire Mayo, bring in Vrabel, bring in Josh McDaniels.
See, I don't.
and we right this
Everybody's
ship.
on Vrabel, and what did
Because Mike
Vrabel do at the end of his
Tennessee,
end of his
Tennessee.
thing?
Was he Tennessee?
Yeah, what did he do at the end of Tennessee when he didn't have the talent? He's just like anybody else.
When
If you
did
don't
he
have
the
any talent,
When
huh?
did he ever have the talent?
He had more talent at the beginning of his
Didn't he
career.
have Derrick
at
Henry there?
that run. Yeah.
Who was the quarterback too?
Tannehill.
Tannehill. They're not nothing to
No.
slouch at. And I think he
Ryan
had
Tannehill was never a great
no, but he
quarterback.
had the brown cat.
Ryan Tannehill was a serviceable quarterback.
He was serviceable. Like you
They
can't.
were 14-2 and a 1 seed with Ryan Tannehill. That's
Oh,
that's coaching. That's
and,
not Ryan
and
Tannehill.
then all right.
I
So
can't rock with you on
at the
that.
end, what was his record at the end? What did they have? 4 wins.
What was Ryan Tannehill with the Dolphins?
Yeah, what's anybody with you put anybody on the Jets? We've already proven that the
No,
franchise can.
the argument is Mayo or Vrabel. I think it's apples and oranges.
It's not even
in my,
close. It's not even
You
close.
think it's
See,
not
I
even
don't
close?
think it's.
We don't
Vrabel's
have-
way better. He's a proven head coach.
You don't know
He's
about-
won
you-
playoff games.
No, but the point we're trying to make is Vrabel has it over him because he has the. You've seen him. This is Mayo's first year ever as
a
a coach
shitty team.
with a garbage team. You can't do that. You gotta. If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do. The sample size has to be the same. If he did 10 years, he does 10 years. You can't say 1 year with this guy. Give him another year. I'm calling it right now. Give him 1 more year, and even give him half the year, and halfway through the year, because you can fire these guys whenever you want. We know that.
But he's saying,
To be
thinking
clear.
is Vrabel won't be available halfway through the year.
That's exactly what
I,
I.
But
I'll
I
rock
don't-
with you on that.
Yeah, that's why. If you're gonna do it, you gotta
I'll
do it
rock
now.
with you. That's the only argument I'm giving you. If you're nervous that this is the time to grab Vrabel, but I'm saying
I just think the game's too fast for Mayo as a coach. I see it. I'm like watching him. I just think he doesn't know what to do in a lot of situations. It's problematic for me.
he was under Belichick, right? Wasn't
Yeah.
he?
A lot
Under
of
his
Yeah.
tutelage?
a lot of guys were, and they all failed as head coaches.
Yeah.
No,
He
his
does not have a good
coordinators
coaching
did.
tree.
Did Vrabel fail as a head coach?
He's the only one that didn't.
I don't
Romeo
know.
Cornell.
And I still think Vrabel's
Josh
overrated.
McDaniels.
I'll give you that. Charlie
Matt
Weiss,
Patricia.
Patricia.
Like,
Who's the dude that went to
Joe
Texans?
Judge.
Joe Judge, Texans. He was coaching under his tree, right?
Bill O'Brien?
Bill
kind
O'Brien.
of. Yeah.
He
was the
wasn't
best.
that bad.
Actually,
no,
he
Bill
was-
O'Brien's actually a really good coach.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know. Give him. I'm not rocking with the. and his-
If you feel Vrabel's that guy, then you got to move on from Mayo and grab Vrabel while you can.
That's
That's
what I'm
if he
saying.
doesn't want to go to another team. What if the Chicago Bears, with all that talent, says, "Come over here"?
why would he want to coach Chicago Bears in that
Why
ownership
would you-
group that doesn't care about football?
Well, look at the Patriots. Did they show they really care about football the last few years?
They care about football. They're just inept.
So why would you want to go there?
Because that's the second part of my argument. They need to make some changes in upper management about who their talent evaluating and draft processing, because for whatever reason they can't seem to figure out how to draft a wide receiver to save their lives, because Jalen Polk can't even get on the field right now for a 3-win
I
team.
rock with you. But that's going back to Belichick days.
But besides quarterback, I'd say he's got a worse team this year than Belichick had his last year, especially on defense.
Who's a worse team than the Patriots this year? Let's keep it a stat.
Giants.
Maybe Carolina or the Giants.
Carolina's actually, I think, better.
Yeah.
Like the Patriots are
They
bad.
got some better
The
skill
Raiders,
skill
the
They
players.
are
The Raiders
bad.
are really
They are
bad.
Yeah.
bad. The
Saints are
like
really
you said,
bad.
devoid of the get rid of the coach. Look at man for man. Who I can't even name any of these guys. Give me a guy. Give me a guy besides the Maycat. Who else?
He's the best player on the team.
They have
The rookie-
nothing.
the rookie
some
The
of this
cupboard is
quarterback.
bare.
Some of this comes from Belichick too, drafting
How
Cole
he
Strange
left
in the
them.
first round
Yeah.
when he was a fourth-round talent.
Yeah.
And he's our starting center right now because we're so
Like I
desperate for
can't.
anyone.
You gotta give him. You
We
gotta
were
give
talking
him
about
some
that. We
furniture to
looked
work
over
with.
the stat, like the first round draft picks, and like you had cats like Strange, and I'm like, he's okay.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been a first round pick.
Yeah.
Belichick was known. He made his bread and butter off of that. Like not
Off
yeah.
of coaching.
Yeah.
Him being a GM is what
And being
got
cheap.
him out the door.
And that's
No, that's Kraft's being cheap, not Belichick.
And that's the other problem too. If the Patriots have to make some wholesale changes because they have a big decision to make, if they end up with this number one pick that they have,
All right.
they got to decide what they're doing.
We're getting carried away. Black Monday. Does Mike McCarthy have a job?
I think so.
Does Brian Daboll have a job?
I think
Yes.
so.
Does Gerard Mayo for the New England Patriots still have a job this Black Monday?
It depends on this Sunday's game. I'm going to be honest.
I can't.
If they get blown out again like they did with the Chargers and the fans are saying what they're saying and it gets up to the owner's box and they hear it, I think it can do some
Am I
damage.
missing somebody else?
But did you
Coaching,
get that last-
coaching wise,
That last, there's probably a few.
there's probably a few.
Antonio
But I'm
Pierce.
saying, oh, for the Raiders,
Yeah.
He might get a pass.
he might get a
I
pass.
don't know why. I think he's awful. But
Yeah, that's the guy I'm rocking with you with. He is
yeah,
not
I don't get it.
the guy.
But that's
And you can say they had talent.
Yeah, they had some.
Yeah,
But then he
Yeah.
ran Devontae Adams out
Boy,
of the
Dougie
building.
Peterson, Jacksonville.
He's gone.
he
He's
might
gone.
get clipped.
He's definitely
yeah,
gone.
he might get clipped.
They've been out for a while.
I was just thinking about the main guys to me.
Yeah.
Like
those are the main
Chicago's
guys.
getting a new coach. The Saints are
Well,
getting a new
they
coach.
already
Yeah.
fired their
Yeah,
guy.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
that guy staying in place? Probably not.
Yeah.
Lions, Vikings, Packers. They're all good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Saints maybe. Panthers.
Panthers. No, that's the first year. Canales actually think he's doing a good job. He's made Bryce Young reasonably decent.
Yeah.
Give him credit for that because he was about as
Yeah.
terrible as could be before that.
If you wanted to dive deeper, the other thing, these other teams picking off these teams' coordinators and stuff. I never liked that before the season's
They're
over.
gonna do it again in Tampa. Liam
I
Cohen's gonna
hate
be a
doing.
head coach
I hate
somewhere.
when they
They'll
do
do it with
that.
Detroit too.
I hate when
Ben
they
Johnson's
go in.
gonna go somewhere.
The season's not even over yet, and you're picking these guys off. Especially if I'm Detroit. Are you serious? So if I'm like the offensive coordinator, and I say this all the time, and I know that I have a job lined up in Tampa where I'm gonna be the head coach next year. What is my motivation to push the team in the playoffs and towards a Super Bowl? I don't know what that is, what that looks like.
If you know you're probably leaving the next year.
Because a lot of these guys know, they know.
It's usually like a week before. It's like that in between week.
I hate it.
The-
You shouldn't even be able to talk to these
Until
guys
the season's over.
until it's over.
I agree with that.
Well,
I
then you
hate
have
it.
to make it so the whole league can't make any.
The whole
moves.
league do
That's
it.
fine.
No,
The
you can't.
whole
That's
league.
the thing. You can't. You got to make it so the whole league can't
So
make
the
any
teams
moves
out of
till
the
the
playoffs can't
till
do
the
it either,
till the
yeah.
season's over.
Because of one. That's one reason.
But there would be tampering and all. But there's tampering no matter what.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it.
But anyway, I don't know.
You know, if Kraft really wants Vrabel, there's no way he's not gonna. Oh, happen to run into him or call him or
Yeah.
have someone call, have his son call him.
That's
Somebody
funny
call him.
that you say that. I bet you there's already been a couple phone calls, if I had to guess.
Well, that's the thing. You don't want to fire him. If you want Vrabel, you got to have an idea if Vrabel wants to come to you before you
Exactly.
fire him.
There's
Right,
mutual
man.
interest
So it's
in
back
what
to
I'm
what
hearing.
you're saying.
Yeah.
They're already having, as we talk right now, those conversations are already going on.
Yeah.
What do you think about you coming here? And then you'll hear about the Mayo getting fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough, man. Give the guy a break. But that's just me.
It's a tough spot for Mayo, but I mean,
He's not the
really
guy.
shown a lot.
He's not the guy.
He's had 1 year on the
this
crowd
a
with
win now
no
league.
talent. It's hard.
He's not the guy
I don't think he's the
with
guy.
no furniture.
I think if you give him furniture, they'd find a way out the window and on the
Wow.
street. So, I don't know. I don't
That's
see-
a hard take,
I
man.
just don't
He's
see
not
it. I've watched him. He stands there like a statue. He doesn't do anything.
He has that look in his eyes.
He looks lost. Yeah. Some guys don't have it. Wow. I saw it with the Chargers coach before Harbaugh. He had the same look.
Yeah, that guy. I rock with
I
you
see
on
that look.
Yeah,
There's people that have that look.
I rock with you.
And there's sometimes though it's that not the first job, but you learn from that first job, and it's the second job that you're better.
Belichick. That's Belichick
But
in a
then there's
nutshell.
McDaniels. His second job wasn't so good. But no, that 1,000-yard stare. Adam Gase was the best with the 1,000-yard stare with the Jets. I'm like, oh my god, this guy is clueless.
Get him out of there.
And now he's coaching a high school team.
That was Eberflus. I saw him.
That's another one.
That's the first time I really watched him. I'm like, I don't think he knows what he's doing.
Right, but someone like
He does defensively. He's a good defensive coach. He's a great defensive
someone like
coordinator.
Mayo's been in the league though. You would think that wouldn't be affect him as much
Yeah.
because you played the game, you've been on the field, you've dealt with that.
That's what I thought because he was the green dot as the linebacker. Got all the plays in. Like did it for a while. Was the number 10 pick out of Tennessee, a real school. Like he checked all the boxes, but sometimes
It don't matter.
that next level. Sometimes college football players going to the pros just don't translate. It is what it is. Sometimes assistant coach to head coach.
If he does get fired though, he was in a no-win situation.
I rock with you, P. I'm rocking
Yeah.
with P on this one.
I can agree with that.
Who
too.
is your guy? 65? Who'd you have?
65, Elvin Bethea.
All right. I don't know.
The beloved Gary Zimmerman.
Yeah, the beloved. Everybody watching this going, who?
We're gonna take
Everybody's
a
on their
quick
phone going, Gary
break.
Zimmerman.
And when we come
Giants
back,
fans know.
we're gonna jump. Did you do the power rankings?
Oh,
Yeah, I
we
did
got,
power rank.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break.
beautiful.
And the next segment, we're letting loose on the NFL, and it's gonna be all around the power rankings. That's how we're gonna talk about the NFL this week.
And we're back.
Yes.
Talking some more football. And
NFL is king.
I think we got to talk a little Saquon. Congrats on just hitting 2,000 yards.
Yes.
But does he go for the record in Week 18 against his former team, the New York Giants?
The beloved Saquon Barkley to the Eagles fans now.
I'm standing back. You guys give me your opinion.
They're going. He's close enough now.
This is
What's he
really
got? What's
tough.
he need? What's
They-
he need?
101 yards.
Yeah, 101 yards.
To break the
Easy.
record.
It's light work for him.
Okay.
They
But the elephant in the room. What if he gets hurt?
hurt.
This is a no-win situation, in my opinion, because you can. Do you have a plan going in? Do you go, all right, just play the first half. You get it. If you don't, you don't. But what if he gets like 90 yards? Are you gonna just say, that's it? No.
What
Well,
if
the
he-
way they were feeding him against the Cowboys,
That
they
was a
they
great
created
one.
their own
That
situation
monster.
by getting him that close.
So what
Yeah.
what feels like is going to happen is he's going to play and break the record. That's what it feels like because what you said in the previous game. What did he get? Like 36 carries. He got a ton
Yeah,
of carries.
yeah, they just
They
kept
would
feeding
give-
him.
they would give
And
him
in the
time.
fourth quarter, you're up by 30 points, and you're still feeding the
Still
monster.
giving them the ball. So
Yeah.
that's blatant what they were trying to do.
And he
Yeah.
needed what 268 to get the record going into that game.
And he had like a lot. Yeah. he
Yeah,
got
like 160
I
something
think he got
yards.
167 yards. Yeah. So
Can I come from a crazy angle?
Yeah.
do it.
All right. I'm one of these people that don't believe in conspiracy theories and all
Uh-oh.
this stuff.
Yeah, don't believe? Okay.
What conspiracy theory are you about to throw this way?
How befitting is it that he's gonna rush, potentially break Eric Dickerson's record against his old team? Is anybody? Nobody's saying anything about this. It is so obvious and blatant
All right,
how
so-
this went down.
But how is this a conspiracy theory? The schedule
Because-
was out
yeah,
last year.
That's
for
my
this,
point.
This season.
I'm rocking with you, but it
Did-
just
was
looks,
the schedule out before he even got traded, or before he signed?
That's what I'm saying. How? Okay, I won't say conspiracy theory, but it always seems to be some kind of caveat. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the
works out.
season, it works. How is it working out this way? How?
there was
Explain to me.
there was an
In the
11
cosmos.
There was an 11% chance they were going to play the Giants in Week 18 anyways, because 1 out of 9 shot 18. Actually better than that, 'cause 17 games. So
They always try to end up with the division opponents at the end of the year, so
They
it's
do.
probably a good 25% chance.
So here's the other argument. If they're playing the Chargers, is this game, are you feeding him the ball? If they're playing any other team,
but that's why they do division games, because they're storylines.
that's my point. This storyline.
Oh, they do that, but that's why they do division games beginning end of the
But
year.
did you think Saquon was going to be going for the record this
But
year?
they have to assume he was going to get 2,000 yards rushing too.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was gonna do this.
Like,
I'm gonna be honest.
You got to assume Saquon's going to be healthy all year. That's a big
I'm gonna be
assumption.
honest. I didn't think he was gonna do numbers like this.
And the other question is it the record?
Okay. Go ahead, Pete. Do you
No, I'm just saying, is it the record?
Do you
Because
let me
he's doing
hear
it in a
something?
17-game
Let me hear
season
something. Throw the names out there.
compared to the 16-game season that Dickerson
16.
did. But then again,
So does
Dickerson,
Dickerson's record not count because OJ did it in 14?
that's
That's
the
the
thing.
whole thing.
I still think OJ was the man because in 14 games he averaged 143 yards a game. If he had 17, Saquon would have to get 2,400
So
yards.
Saquon, to make it legit, what he's saying is Saquon has to get 2,400 yards
If
to
you get-
break the legit record.
If you gave OJ 3 more games at his average, he would have had to get over 2,400 yards to get that record.
So two different things. One thing, if there's a way we can forget about OJ Simpson, I'm all for it. So that's number one.
I'm all for OJ, the football player,
Yes.
and the actor Naked
Yes,
Gun.
yes. Separate,
there you go. But
separate the two.
otherwise-
separate the three.
Better football player than person.
Separate.
Oh, that-
So you separate the three. There's the football, there's the acting,
Actor.
and then there's real life.
So that's number one. Then number two is Saquon's got 50 less carries than Eric Dickerson right now.
Ooh, I didn't know
Right.
that.
So
yes.
I didn't
but-
know that.
he's done way better yards per carry. He's had a way better
But
season.
he's almost equal to OJ in carries. He's
Wow.
averaging.
I didn't
Saquon's
know
averaging.
that.
Yeah, he's averaging like 128 a game. Where, like I said, OJ was averaging 143 a game.
And Eric Dickerson's being a salty little bitch about his record,
I
like
heard
Murray
he is.
Morris.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
hope Saquon breaks the record because
And Saquon's a good guy. I have no problem.
He's
Like,
a
dude,
stand-up
whatever.
kid. He's a stand-up kid.
yeah, Saquon's a good guy.
But here's the other thing that nobody seems to be talking about. Our offensive line. That line.
Amazing.
That line. There. Like, people need to hone in on this. No disrespect to Saquon. They're opening these holes for him.
Yep.
He's getting in space. That line is legit.
Can I bring up a thought for a second too? What if the tush push didn't exist? Would Saquon Barkley be the greatest running back
He
ever?
would, exactly. that's the other caveat. If
He'd
you
have like
take that
35
Hurts,
touchdowns.
if you take that Hurts stuff out of there too,
crazy.
it would be crazy.
He's lost a lot of touchdowns on the 1 yard line this year.
Yeah.
He's lost a lot of, probably even some runs because Hurts takes off.
I have Jalen Hurts on a fantasy team. I've noticed it.
Like, after Lamar Jackson, you have to put Josh Allen, then Hurts
Yep.
for running quarterbacks. He's
What
doing.
about Lamar?
That's what I said. After Lamar
Oh,
Jackson.
sorry. Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is this you might have to step back and look at this Saquon thing a little differently. Because who was the running quarterback for OJ? Who was the running quarterback for Eric Dickerson? It didn't exist,
So
Papa
that's the
Man.
thing. Do you remember old school football games with the quarterbacks when they tried to run and how slow
Yeah,
they were?
it
It
was
was so
crazy.
funny.
So you have to
Just
there's a
Tom
lot of
Brady trying to
interesting
move around in the
factors.
pocket was ridiculous.
It felt like the pixels were ahead of the actual
So
guy
these
running.
factors are different. You have to look at it differently now that we're talking about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Another thing we brought up earlier that I wanted to bring up, the ratings on Christmas. what is the NFL doing with this 3 days rest? They were supposed to be worried about player health and player safety.
I love
Obviously,
football.
they don't care.
No.
I love football. I love it to death. But this is getting crazy now. I feel like they're chasing numbers.
You had to first of all, you had to put a lot of these teams on a short week and play them on Saturday just to give them 3 days before the Christmas game.
Here's the other thing. I didn't understand why you had the same 4 teams that played. Was it Saturday? Play Wednesday.
That's because they needed to give them an extra day. They couldn't put them on 2 days rest.
Why not have some other teams? You had the same exact 4
Well, they
teams.
would've
There
had
were no
to-
bye weeks. They were kind of stuck.
Yeah, they would have had to do the same thing. No matter what, they would have had to put them on a Saturday to give them that extra day.
They're chasing the bag.
But yeah,
And this is getting tricky
it's not
for
bad
me.
if Christmas falls on a Thursday or a Friday.
Which it will next year, but watch. They're going to do Wednesday games
This
again.
is
This'll
tricky
happen
for
again.
me because that makes that Wednesday Christmas Eve, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
They'll find a way to
have
put a
games next
game
year.
on there.
They'll probably have 2 or 3 games next year, too. They'll probably do 3, 2 on Saturday, and the rest on Sunday.
Okay, here's the ultimate question. You guys can answer. Is there such a thing as too much football in 7 days?
It seems
Yes.
like it to me.
Yes, I feel
don't-
overwhelmed.
I don't want to say this because I don't know, but is there such a thing?
As a fantasy football player, yes, because I'm like, who's hurt, who's playing, who's not. Like, games are starting Wednesday, games are starting Saturday. And as a fan, I'm like, okay, wait, this game's on Netflix. Okay, this game's on Amazon Prime. Okay, wait, this one's on ESPN. Okay, this one's on. Okay, like it's out of
You
control.
were
Wait, I
right,
can't
yeah.
go to that bar because they don't stream Amazon Prime.
Exactly.
Like, it's crazy.
That's
It's
crazy.
too much going on.
I honestly don't like the streaming stuff.
I
I'm
don't
gonna be
either.
honest. I'm
I
gonna be
don't either.
honest. I remember when you could just watch the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
just
it's
find
an
a place
it's
that
old
has it
school
on.
of us.
Wow. But go ahead, P. Do your
Um,
thing.
No, and one other thing I wanted to bring up because we, Aaron Rodgers haters.
yes.
Do you realize that they're going to be the best they can do is 5-12? They're probably going to be 4-13. The last year when he got hurt,
Yes.
7-10. The year before that, before he got there, they were 7-10. And your question is he just going to walk away from football? No, because he's too big of a narcissist to just walk away.
You think he walks away?
Hell no.
Why not?
'Cause he's getting paid, guaranteed all that money.
Oh, he's out. There was a 2-year deal, wasn't
Yeah,
it, with the Jets?
I think he's got. I thought he had one more. I could be wrong.
Should he walk away?
He should.
Why?
He won't.
Why?
His ego won't let him.
He's bad.
He
He's
thinks,
not.
He
he's,
thinks he's got something to prove.
Is he
still.
the reason why they're losing?
Of course
Let's
he
Yes.
be
is.
honest.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
Because Zach Wilson, with the same defense last year, put up better numbers and had a better overall team.
And how bad was Zach Wilson last year?
And we complained about Zach Wilson nonstop.
I'm trying to be.
Garrett Wilson's requesting a trade if Rodgers
You know
comes
how
back
I
next
feel.
year.
You know how I feel.
Yeah.
You know how I feel. I'm trying to be that guy. We got to make sure if you start booting people out the door. But he does he have power still? I feel like he had power.
Had.
He was
Had.
the reason that he got Solar out of there. That was all Rodgers. You're saying he still doesn't have some power?
I think it's waning. If he
Yeah, oh, it has
any.
to be. If
Yeah.
if they give him any sort of power, they're crazy. He's setting them back. He's setting them back 5 years now.
So speaking of stats, his game this past week against the Bills was the worst game a quarterback has played in 23 years.
What?
Yeah, it was that bad.
Yeah. The only reason they
QBR
scored is
wise.
because they changed the
Because
quarterback.
Tyrod Taylor came in all of a sudden.
T-Mobile came in.
Yeah, and I actually think Tyrod Taylor still has some play in him. He can move around still.
I
Compared
always
to
liked
Rodgers,
T-Mobile.
Yeah, I think Tyrod Taylor's still a legit backup quarterback in this league.
Wow.
Like emergency starter when need be. Like I like Tyrod Taylor, but
Yeah.
man,
What are we doing now? Are we jumping into
Bum,
it?
bum, bum, Peace Power Rankings.
Power.
We need a sounder for this.
rankings. I'm gonna figure something out, baby. Bum, ba-da-da. I'm gonna figure something out. Go ahead, P. I ain't gonna steal your thunder.
No, don't worry about it.
You know what this is, right?
oh yeah,
You know what we need to do to this guy, right?
yeah.
All right.
Hey, I voted. I was all about my Chargers being in the top 10, which they were last time I was on, and Detroit being number 1, which they were. So we'll see where it stands this week.
All right, so we got. It's been a little bit because we didn't do a show last week.
Yeah.
So things have changed. I have 3 teams coming off the top 10:
Ooh.
the
Oh,
Broncos, the Texans, and the Steelers.
Steelers are out.
Steelers are out. This is because
I like that. I like that.
Whoa.
I like that.
they're on a 3-game losing streak that just.
I gotta see
They looking
who
at-
you got ahead of
The one
them.
and- the
They
one-
look inept on offense.
Yeah.
That's tough.
The one team that's on the honorable mention is Tampa. Then just quite
I
not
like
on
that.
that
I
list.
I
like
like
that.
that. I like that. But I don't know about the
respect
Steelers
Tampa.
yet until I hear the rest of these
All right.
teams.
Starting off with number 10, the Chargers at
Ah.
10-6.
All right, they're still in the mix. Okay,
They're
that's fair.
still in the mix.
As long as they're top 10.
All right, I'll
But
give
the
you
problem
that.
is that
Chargers.
all these other teams are winning, so teams have to move down.
Okay.
The Rams at 10-6 at number 9, right above them.
I could argue them being out of the top 10 personally.
Rams.
Yeah.
You're putting Pittsburgh in there.
I
Who
got
would
to
you
hear
put
the whole
over 'em?
list. I
Yeah.
got to hear the whole
That's what I'm
list.
saying. Who you putting over them?
Well, I don't want to like infringe too much
No,
on
it's
the
all
name
right.
you
No,
haven't
no,
said
that's
yet,
the whole
That's the whole
point.
thing.
But I don't know where. I'm assuming the Packers are on in the top 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you said Washington's not in the top
No,
10?
I didn't say that. No, I said Broncos, Texans, and Steelers all came out.
The only thing I have is the Steelers. That's my problem right now.
All right.
There's 4 division winners.
I would rock with the Steelers over maybe.
Well, okay, so the Texans, I agree, should be out. They're playing horribly, but the Chargers are legit, so that's 4. Oh, maybe they are. Okay, maybe.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
go ahead. Do your dance.
Number 8, the Washington Commanders.
Okay.
After that big win over Philly, they're playing better.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels is looking legit.
Yeah, he makes
They
me
just
nervous because
legit.
I feel like we're gonna face them.
It's going to be you do. Isn't it the first round?
I
Well,
think we
that's,
might have
but
to
if
face
Minnesota
them.
wins, it changes things.
Yeah.
I hope.
And then
I don't want
we're
nothing
both
to do
going to
with
be
him.
dealing with him for years to come now.
Yeah, I don't want nothing to do with that kid. But go ahead.
He's very good. I like what Washington's doing.
Number 7, 11-5, the Green Bay Packers.
All right.
Yeah, that's fair.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
So far, all right, we're all right. Number 6, 11-5, also the Baltimore Ravens.
That's low. Ravens are. I think the Ravens are 1, 2, or 3 for me.
How they were 11-5, they lost 5 games.
Yeah.
The model of inconsistency.
Right now, they look like one of the
They're heating
scariest
up.
teams.
Yeah.
They're heating up at the perfect time.
Yeah, they did that last year too. They looked great. They looked incredible, and then they fell flat in their face.
They didn't have Derrick Henry last year.
They still look dominant
You
last
got
year.
them at 6?
I got them at 6.
Who's at 5?
14-2 Minnesota Vikings. I
Yeah,
don't.
you can't take
I,
Minnesota out of there.
I don't like. They don't scare me, but they're 14-2, and they just keep winning.
It's tough.
So they're
Tough
at
to
5.
All right, number 4. They came down a little bit, but 3 and 4 could be interchangeable to me. It doesn't matter. Number 4, Buffalo at 13-3, and number 3, Philly at 13-3.
Yeah, I'm rocking. You could swap those two. That could go either way right
Because
now
Buffalo,
for me.
Buffalo, has got an easy division. They've had a couple easy division games,
The only
even though they
problem I
struggle against the
have with
Pats.
that, because I got a feeling you're going to have Detroit somewhere.
Yep.
And Buffalo handled Detroit in my eyes.
I have Baltimore over Buffalo
Really?
because they smoked them when they played each other.
I don't go too much on head-to-heads.
Yeah.
But you go over their whole record, but you don't go over head to head.
Yeah, because it's one game.
That was they being like 35-10.
I got to rock with him on this one.
I think the Ravens.
So
will
you
beat
think
the
that
Bills.
they'd beat the Bills again 35-10?
No, but I think they're going to beat them on the road in the playoffs.
And listen, I'm not. These are power rankings for right now.
I know.
I'm not
the
saying
Ravens are
what's
on
going to happen in the
fire.
playoffs.
I'm not disputing it,
Yeah,
but I'm also
Ravens are on fire.
I'm
right
going
now.
by what has happened.
Ravens
and
are
you
the
got
scariest
you
team.
got the Bills at what? 4 or 3? 4? And I know you got Detroit probably 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Bills, and that was recently when they beat them.
Yeah.
I don't know. They
And
had Detroit on their heels.
and the last week they struggled against the New England Patriots.
That's a division game.
It doesn't.
It does matter.
No.
Division games don't matter.
So we just argue how devoid of talent the New England Patriots are, but somehow
I don't know if I can rock with you on that. But go ahead, baby. Go ahead. Who's 3?
number 2, Detroit,
Oh, Detroit.
14-2. They're decimated on defense still, but their offense keeps
No,
carrying
they're
them
not
through.
they're number 3 or number 2?
2.
Number 3 is Philly.
Number 3's Philly.
Number 3's Philly. Number 2's Detroit.
I can agree
So
with
who?
that.
So who do you have at number 1?
Finally,
They're back.
they're back in number 1
Why, my friend?
because they're playing better. Defensively, they're phenomenal, and offensively, they're starting to come around.
Oh, they're heating up, so they're number 1, but the Ravens stay at 6.
Because the Ravens all year.
The
they
Chiefs
look
only
great,
have
and
one
then they
loss,
look like
right?
crap.
If we're correct.
Chiefs are the worst one-loss team up until like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's still the NFL.
They were still in the
Yeah.
top 4. And, and
feel
he argued all season it didn't matter what they look like. And now they're looking better.
I don't know. I just feel like if we're gonna argue for the Chiefs to be number 1, we gotta argue for the Ravens to be higher than 6.
I think
That's
you're
just
way.
Where are you putting the Ravens then?
4.
Why? Over what was it? Who was 4?
I would put.
Four's Buffalo, Philly. They were interchangeable.
I think
You're putting them over the Vikings with 2 losses.
For me personally, so I agree with Chiefs 1, Lions 2, Philly 3. I would go Baltimore 4, Buffalo 5, Minnesota 6. Personally, for me, I think Buffalo's better than Minnesota. I think Baltimore's better than both of them. That's how I feel.
So the last 3 wins for the Ravens, they beat the Giants, inept. They beat the Steelers, who are falling off.
That's a division game. That's
That's
never
a division
easy.
game. But and they beat up on the Texans, who
A playoff team.
They're out of. They are not. They are only a playoff team because they're winning their division, a shitty division.
Who?
The Texans.
They beat them 31-2 though. They smoked them.
Yeah.
Like that's you gotta give. It's not like they beat them 17-10.
Are you scared of the Texans if you face them the first round?
No, absolutely not. That's
No.
one of those
No, it's a team that's there.
They're not
that
even in the
everybody's gonna
top
bet
10 in
against.
the-
Yeah.
in my top 10,
Wow. All right, I'm
and they've lost a few.
I'm not a Ravens guy at all, but I don't know. It's a team I would not want to see.
I'm
in the
gonna-
You
playoffs.
I'm
wouldn't,
gonna-
but then again, I agree with you that you don't want to see them. But then you get 'em, catch them on that week where you do want to see them because they lay eggs.
I'm gonna concede with the Pittsburgh thing because when you broke it down, maybe they are like 11 or 12. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah,
mean-
there's a lot of teams. I was wrong about the Rams. I guess they are top 10, even though they've looked awful. They've won games, but they've
Oh.
scored 13, 19, and 16
And then they
points.
scored a lot of points. It's just that you don't know what you're getting out of the
Yeah,
Rams.
They're inconsistent.
And the Chargers have been looking good, but then their defense fell off the last few weeks.
Well, Baker Mayfield's been insane this year. And
Yeah.
I like that you
I
have.
like Baker.
Yeah, I like that you've put credit on Tampa Bay and have them in the mix. So
All right, power rankings. They were.
I like
they're
them for
pretty
the most
much
part. I just
legit.
want.
Yeah.
I just got to argue.
Hey, you're getting better, buddy.
Oh, thank you.
those are pretty good. Those are pretty good.
Can we end it on this note? MVP.
No, that's you.
Can
need-
we end it on that note? MVP of the NFL.
I'll tell you
who
who will win, and I'll tell you who should win.
Okay,
Who will win? Josh Allen. Who should win? Lamar Jackson.
who are you saying?
There's 4 guys in my mind:
Yes.
Allen, Lamar Jackson, Saquon. He should get some credit.
Yes.
And Goff is up there.
What about
Jared
Burrow?
Goff.
Burrow, but his team's too
His
bad.
team's garbo.
His
They're-
team is
they're
defense.
bringing, his team's bringing them
He
down.
can't play defense.
I'm not.
Oh no, I know.
It's unfortunate, but that's how it I
Yeah,
feel like it
yeah.
He's
kind of
they're
goes.
8-8. It's
Jared
hard.
Goff's been amazing, though. I love that take, too.
Yeah. So it's like those are the 4 guys. I don't know. I don't think Saquon will get it.
No.
Just because he's a running back, you rely on your offensive line to help you get your yards. And Lamar may not get it because he's gotten it a bunch of times.
That's why
That's
he's-
my argument.
That's why he's not going to get it.
That's my argument.
He has better numbers
He's-
than Allen, and he's
Yeah.
he
He
won
does
it.
have the better numbers, but my argument is if it's close,
They're going to give it to Allen.
give it to the new guy.
Yeah,
That's just
yeah.
my opinion.
I'm fine
I
with
could
that.
be way off base with this.
No, I think
If
it's
it's close,
It's a lifetime achievement award type of thing.
give it to him. And if you really want to be technical, I guarantee you, if you sat down with Lamar Jackson and you asked him, "You want the MVP?" He would be like, "I don't want that."
He wants a Super Bowl.
He
Yeah,
wants the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He does. Not saying that Josh Allen doesn't want the Super Bowl either, but he has accomplished that. Not once. He's already accomplished that twice, if I'm not mistaken. He doesn't want
yeah.
that anymore.
And he won it in a down year last year.
Yeah,
so
he
it's
doesn't
like-
want it. He does not want it. If it's even, give it to the Allen cat. But unfortunately, I don't think that's how it's going to go. I think they're going to give it to Lamar again.
Really?
I think they will. I think they will.
His numbers are good enough to
His numbers
justify
are too
it.
good. His number, like if you tell me that Josh Allen goes out this week, he has to throw for what? He has to have an insane game this week.
You know what's crazy is I think they said something
He's not,
like
he might not play, though.
Allen has like
That's my
yeah.
point. Like, that
Lamar's playing.
exactly. So now he's gonna even more.
Yeah.
He's pounding the
And
stats.
Lamar's been doing it in standalone games on Christmas Day. and
That's
all
the
that stuff.
problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. If
You
you
know-
tell me it's close, Go
I
ahead,
was saying
Pete.
about Allen. I heard. I think he has like 61 rushing touchdowns. Which when they started comparing some of the best running backs to play,
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
he's got more.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Not taking away from Allen's that guy too, but Lamar just looks crazy.
And I'm looking at the games, and there's not a lot. This is just a weird week for football.
Except for Sunday night.
Throw something out there, real quick. Throw out like two or three games.
Minnesota, Detroit, that last game.
The winner gets the 1 seed. The loser gets a wild
I
card.
knew it was gonna come down. Another conspiracy. You gotta listen to me.
Hey.
How does it come down to these two teams?
Well, it's supposed to be Seahawks-Rams, but the Rams clinched it. So.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of boo-boo games, and especially because it doesn't mean
Who you got
anything
in
to
that
one
game?
team or
Who
the
you
other.
got in these games? Real quick. Who you got in that game?
Which game? Which game?
Detroit, Minnesota.
Detroit.
Detroit, it's at Detroit.
At the end of the day, and they beat them 31-29 the first time in Minnesota. A very close game. Both teams
Yeah.
played amazingly well. I gotta roll with Jared Goff, Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson right now. You don't bet against that off. That offense is putting up 40 points a
nuts.
week right now.
Yeah.
They are nuts.
And the defense is decimated, but man, Sam Darnold's gonna have to keep pace. Can
Yeah.
he? We'll see.
That's the
Good
question.
good luck to anybody that's got to fill out a fantasy roster this weekend
Oh.
for a championship game.
Week 18.
That's why I'm glad we end ours. Speaking of that,
Yeah.
shout out to Team Montgomery for winning our fantasy league.
Yep.
Yeah. What else you got, P? Another game? Nothing else? Anything else?
Really, it's nothing.
Nothing good.
Because one team, it doesn't mean anything to. It is not going to really affect the playoffs.
So they're benching guys around the league, probably.
I mean, Houston, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Indianapolis,
Chiefs are resting Mahomes. And all.
Yeah.
Giants, Philly. The only thing in that game is
the
the
Saquon
Saquon
thing.
thing.
I don't even
Washington-
think you see Hurts come out. I won't see him play. Because
No.
they're going to
Oh,
hand
with
him.
the concussion too.
Yeah, they're not
I
going
mean, Kansas City, Denver, but it doesn't mean anything to Kansas City.
Means a ton to Denver.
That
though.
means a ton to Denver.
Denver's winning in if they win, right? I'm
When
pretty
you're
sure.
in.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Is that a wrap?
I think that's a
Yeah. Good talk. Close out 2024 on a bang.
Yo, what are you doing tonight? You said.
I'm going to the Friars game. I'll be downtown. Probably stop off at Murphy's either before or after for some drinks and a sandwich or something.
Yeah.
Hang out with some friends.
At least it won't be freezing cold, too. It won't be bad tonight.
Yeah.
That's what I was
good
against.
walk around
I'm like-
weather. Yeah.
This girl's like, let's go outside. I'm like, I don't know. It's going to be too cold, but
You're
it's
like,
not.
I'm black, baby. What do you mean go outside?
It's not bad out, man.
No.
What are you guys up to on New Year's?
I am working till 11:30.
This guy's going to be working. I'm laying low
Yeah.
with my shorty, just chilling. Probably cook something up, be near the fire. Who knows?
nice.
Real low key, you know.
Yeah.
You got a fire? You got a fireplace up in
Yeah,
there?
you know how it is, baby. Yeah, it is. That's the thing when you'll be buying the wood. You gotta make sure, all you people out there, make sure it's nice and dry.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be good. Yeah.
It will not burn. Trust me.
I usually buy wood to have for the following
The following
year, so it's
year, you
all
gotta
good
let
to
it
go.
dry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
I have one myself, so
that's it.
yeah.
We're live from our spot. I want to say Happy New Year. You guys got any choice words for anybody out there, for anything?
No, we're good. Everybody have a good New Year. Have a safe New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone. Stay safe. Cops are everywhere. Don't be drinking and driving. Get your Ubers. Be safe.
Yeah, watch out for that po-po.